what's remarkable is that the entire galaxy is here to support us. They really are. So the best kept secret on this planet isn't them, it's about who we are. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background before we get into the current intel. We are the sum total of 22 different extraterrestrial races. Extraterrestrial races that have been here for hundreds of thousands of years, who have interbred with humanity and left offspring. Now, that's the physical. The soul aspect, the spiritual aspect of who we are is even more enlightening and even more amazing. So I'm going to start with something that I want you all to begin to research when you can. It's called the Blue Brain Project in Switzerland. They have combined Blue Brain Project. They have combined many different types of technologies, and what they have done is they have essentially created a type of MRI that can scan the entire brain. And I mean all of the intricate structures of the brain itself. What they have discovered is that some of us have in our brains fourth, fifth, sixth dimensional structures already in our brain. Now think about that. There are other people that they have done the same thing with that have 7, 8, 9 dimensional structures in their brain. Some have 10 and 11 dimensional structures already in your brain. Now you're a third density physicality, and yet in your brain you have multiple dimensional structures. Now, another best kept secret is that many children are being born with a third strand of DNA. Another incredible secret is that many people who have had near-death experiences are coming back, and when they come back, they have 3, 4, and 5 strands of DNA. There is a guy in Australia who was dead 1 hour and 45 minutes, and he woke up in the morgue, and when they did an examination of him, he had 6 strands of DNA. We're talking about one of us. So, nothing we've been taught about ourselves is true. We haven't been told anything about who we really are. Now, let's talk about the brain structures. What is the body? The body is a physical form which is imprinted with a holograph of the soul. When the soul attaches to the body at conception, it creates a holograph. That holograph is who you are. You are remarkable spiritual beings who have been stuck in a really bad system. Okay? And everybody's beginning to wake up to it. We're seeing a lot of contrast. We're all seeing now what we don't want. That's one thing. But the work is, what do you want? That's the real work now. If you don't want this, you don't want New World Order, you don't want medical mafia, overreaching government, socialism, communism, you don't want any of that stuff. You have got to decide what it is you want, and you have to begin focusing on that. Because you're the creators. You are. We can't create dimensions, but we can create realities. You have to know that. You can create whatever it is you want. This is how we have been used and enslaved with belief systems that have limited our thinking. If you were to remove all of the technology we use today on the planet and just look at the psychology of civilization, in most cases we're still stuck in the medieval ages. The way we think, the way we treat each other, the way we look at each other, the way we have governmental structures and other types of structures that control and manipulate humanity. That's all been done on purpose to keep us down, to keep us suppressed, to keep us divided. Again, this is all about humanity. For those of you who are following the Schumann resonance for 10,000 years they say was 7.85. It is now between 23 and 28. That's the new normal. It is not unrealistic that we have spikes of up over 200. 200 megahertz. Now, every time that happens, what's happening is your DNA, which is an antenna, is beginning to expand, and then it contracts. And every time we hit these peaks and we hit these plateaus of Schumann resonance, what's going on is that your DNA is expanding and contracting, and what it's learning is to hold more light. It's holding more light. And the more light you hold, the more pressure it puts onto your DNA in order to expand. Do you understand? In order to keep you in the body, the DNA has to expand to hold the light, to hold the frequency. So all of you are ascending whether you realize it or not. Even if you don't believe it, your body is going to go there. Because the earth is going there. She's expanding, she's getting bigger. She's not collapsing. She is in fact growing to hold a larger population. She's not done with us. We're not the enemy. We're not the virus. Okay, the virus are non-terrestrial beings. And if you know anything about my work, then you know what's going on there. So where are we today? If you can look at what's happening on the planet as a chess game, a multi-dimensional chess game, you have third density, fourth density, fifth density, now we have a sixth dimensional component in this chess game. And we are down to the last 4 moves for the freedom of humanity. 4 moves, that's all that's left. Now, the dark side, which doesn't want to move, they don't want to use their last really 1 move they really have left. So what they're doing is they're creating havoc. COVID, Afghanistan, and other false flags that we're going to see happening here very, very shortly. They're going to create chaos and pandemonium. And the reason for that is they're trying to delay having to make a move. Well, the benevolence, which involves white hat humans and off-planet benevolent star nations, they are forcing the moves now.